Hi, my name is Fredrik, and I'm a queer doula.
I met up with Fredrik when he was in Gothenburg to hold one of his courses for queer parents-to-be.
My name is Fredrik. I'm a 35-year-old queer doula. I'm originally from Norway, but I've lived in Sweden since 2007 now. I live in Falkenberg, which is a city south of Gothenburg, with my partner and my 2.5-year-old child.
Let's start with the basics. What is a doula?
So a doula is traditionally a cisgender woman who helps out during pregnancy and birth for other cisgendered women. But the last maybe 10-15 years, the term doula has changed a lot. Now we also have transition doulas helping trans people during medical or social transition. We have death doulas helping people on their deathbeds. We have postpartum doulas helping people during their first 3 months of their parenthood. So doula is not a synonym like a cisgender woman helping other cisgender women anymore. And there are varieties of gender expressions, gender identities in the doula community.
And Fredrik works specifically with people who are becoming pregnant.
I do fertility work, fertility work and birth work. So mainly that means that I help people who are on their fertility journey, on their journey to becoming parents, people of all genders, sexualities and relationship statuses. Basically, I help people in contact with fertility treatment clinics. I follow them to meetings with the fertility clinic, for example, if need be. And I also help people during pregnancy and labor. That's what I do. If someone would ask me, for example, I need help, I'm going to have my mastectomy, for example, removing breast tissue, I need help with someone supporting me, I'm not going to tell them no. But that's not primarily what I do. So emotional and physical support during the journey on becoming a parent, that's what I do.
And as a trans man himself, Fredrik has some unique perspectives to bring into his work.
I have the capability of carrying a child myself. I have the capability of being a gestational parent myself. And sometimes I feel sad that I never chose to carry. Right now, it feels like it would be too big of a social stigma for me to carry and be pregnant. So what I want to do is that I want to help other queer parents feel secure and feel seen, because to me it kind of feels like the Swedish healthcare system is not really. It feels like queer people are forgotten a lot. It feels like, okay, everyone knows that 2 lesbians, for example, 2 cisgender women can receive reproductive support by the hospitals and by clinics. We have had that opportunity, or lesbians or cisgender women couples have had that opportunity since 2006. But still, midwives and doctors ask questions about who's the dad. I've had couples tell me that midwives commenting on things like, well, only the caring, only the gestational parent can be the mom. Those kind of things. And I feel that even queer parents, even parents who are gender non-conformative or who identify themselves as dads while carrying or whatever, should be able to have like a good pregnancy and a good start of the journey to parenthood.
And these are some of the benefits from hiring a queer doula as a queer couple.
I think that the main thing is recognition. Someone who understands a little bit what you're going through, understands how living in this world as queer, how living in a world with like minority stress, the stress that you're constantly going to be questioned, the stress that you're constantly gonna break a lot of norms, and some people are gonna love it and some people are gonna hate it. And not knowing if the midwife I'm going to meet now or the health personnel, the doctors I'm going to meet now, are they going to be okay with it? Are they going to use the wrong pronouns? Are they going to accept my partner? So I think that first-hand experience with those kind of situations are important, I think. This is also one of the reasons why if I meet a couple where one of them belongs to some kind of like people of color group or like indigenous group, I try to recommend doulas or birth workers that have similar experiences, because I see myself as anti-racist, of course, but I don't know what it is to live in a body with darker skin. I don't know what it is to live in or grow up in a culture that is fundamentally different or has different traits than like white Swedish culture, So I think that being able to being a space where people understand what you're going through and understand your situation, makes it easier to feel safe and secure. And feeling safe and secure are like two really important parts of being pregnant and giving birth and becoming a parent.
And Fredrik really likes his job.
I really like helping people. I do teaching when I'm not doing like doula work or like birth work. So I teach like middle school, junior high kids. I really love teaching. I really love like not necessarily lecturing, but I love like helping people understand certain things, whether or not it's like subjects or if it's like understanding themselves better. That's something I really love. And with birth work, I can do both. I can teach like prophylaxis and like what happens in the body during pregnancy, for example. I can teach, but I can also help people take control of their own bodies. There's a method called, for example, like belly mapping, where you help the pregnant person figure out like where in the belly the baby is laying. So those kind of things, those are things I can teach, and I can help people understand themselves better. And also being an advocate. So that's a huge discussion in the doula community. Should you be an advocate or not? Should you voice your opinion, or should you raise your voice when you see there's mistreatment, for example? Some people think that that's not a good idea because you don't want to be on bad terms with the midwives and the hospital staff. I think that in certain situations that advocacy is something that doulas must do. That if I see, for example, that the doctors, they misgendered my client, for example, and they don't listen, then I think it's like, if it's okay with the client, of course, it's my job to help the client.
I asked Fredrik if he could share a tip if there are some parents to be watching.
If you decide to give birth in a hospital, the birth room is your room. I mean, you're not obligated to be there. None of the things that the nurses or midwives want to do to you are mandatory. Like, you don't need to do a vaginal exam, for example. You don't need different needles in you. There's so many things that are done because it's a routine. You don't need to do any of those things if you don't want to. And I think that's especially important for a lot of queer people, because a lot of queer people have experience with like sexual assault or other types of violence related to sex and body. And I think that knowing that you can be in that space and be yourself, and you're allowed to own the space, you're allowed to dance, you're allowed to bring whatever clothes you feel like, you can listen to whatever music you want to, you can give birth in which position you feel like. As long as there's no threat to your life or the baby's life, you can basically do whatever you want. I think that people need to know this in order to be empowered, in order to have the birth that they want. But a lot of people don't know that because we're so used to doctors and people telling us what to do. One of the queer parents that I talked to today told me that they were so happy that their midwife used the right pronouns. And that's like the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum. We shouldn't be happy. Okay, it's a good thing, of course, but we should be happy because someone uses the right pronoun and respects us as people. So people need to get over that. People need to get over the fact that people use right pronouns, because you should be able to be a parent in your terms and give birth on your terms. And that's not only for queer parents, that's for everyone.
As he mentioned, he is currently working as a teacher parallel to his doula job. But he has dreams and plans of how to develop his company in the future.
I really would wish that I could do this full time. I mean, that I would be like the natural choice for queer parents to be, that they would choose me to go to my birth prep courses, that they would call me for help if they had problems, for example, with a fertility clinic. But that would be really, really great. I don't expect that to happen. I don't expect to work with this full time. So now I think one of my goals is to be seen, for people to contact me, like, oh, I saw your video, oh, I saw your blog, or I saw this post on Instagram. I'm interested in these services. What can you offer? I would like to get more of those emails. And they're starting to come. So people are, I'm being seen. But that's something I wish. I hear, some doula colleagues are telling me that, I can't really do anything because I'm fully booked through 2023, and people are already starting to book me for 2024 just in case we get pregnant. That would be so cool. That would be really cool. But I'm not there yet, so one day maybe, yeah.
I also asked for his wish for the whole healthcare system when it comes to pregnancy and birth giving.
I would wish for a pregnancy and birth care that are not so focused on the medical stuff. I would like to see more midwifery-led units where midwives are in charge, I would like to see a bigger opportunity for home birth if people want that. And also that the entire education system, like for midwives and nurses, become more like LGBTQI inclusive. Not only like one lecture with information about how lesbians can have a baby, but also about inclusive language, what happens to like pregnant transmasculine people who have been on testosterone for a while, what happens in their bodies, like things that we really need help with. So more more inclusive care, more options when it comes to where to give birth. That's something I really would love.
To sum up, he also has one wish that is too precious not to share. I really hope that this will become reality one day.
A lot of doulas join together like collectives or like small companies together. Something I really would love would be to start like a collective with like queer doulas together. Maybe someone who works with postpartum, like the first 3 months of parenthood, someone who works with like transitions, maybe like another birth or fertility doula, work together and just to serve the community. Maybe together with like a midwife, and start like a clinic. That would be something really great. That would be a dream, a dream come true.
If you enjoyed watching that video, please like, comment, subscribe and share the video. I really appreciate you showing your love in that way. If you also want to support the channel financially, that's possible via Patreon, but really no pressure. See you next time!